One of the interesting things about the Super Bowl is you played in one earlier in your career and thought to yourself, I'm going to be back, and never got back. And here's Tom Brady for his 9th time. I mean, it's somewhat ridiculous,
it's amazing,
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Oh, me too, yeah.
But, yeah, it is amazing for, a player, just one player, and especially at that position, because it's tough to get back. And I only went one time, and pretty amazing stuff what they're doing up there in New England.
It's nuts. As Hall of Famer Dan Marino was on set giving us the Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no contracts. So in the straightest talk you can say to a guy like Jared, take the Patriots out of the equation because they are so far the outlier, it's ridiculous. As a guy who played a legendary career and had chances to get back more than one time, but only got here that one time, what's the straightest talk you could give Sean McVay and Jared Goff at this moment?
Don't take it for granted, because I think at times when I look back on it, we played in that game and I felt like, okay, well, I'll get back. And you kind of take that moment for granted, take advantage of it, turn it loose, don't leave anything out there. I mean, just go for it. And, you have that one chance in your life and that might be it. So that's what it. Just don't take it for granted.
Yeah. And it's exciting also for the cities and the venues that get to host these things. And I know for you mentioned went to one as a player. It has to be exciting though. Next year the Super Bowl is going to be right in your backyard, going down to Miami. So there has to be something. While it may not be the same as a player, to at least be part of the hosting city certainly has to be.
Yeah, I'm actually
gratifying.
part of the host committee for next year, so that's something.
Can you get us a suite then next year?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you're the guy we go to.
Overlooking the Biscayne Bay, maybe like 4 bedrooms, a little sauna.
I think that'll work.
Yeah, I think we can pull that off.
Maybe some tickets.
There, maybe
okay.
You can throw them in if you want
10.
to.
Yeah. 10 if you got.
But you know what? For Miami, it's awesome to have the Super Bowl back. Our new stadium is great. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been there, but people are going to enjoy it. It's good for the community.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to that because it'll certainly be a warm place, which we always like to go to. Mm-hmm. As far as getting ready now for the Super Bowl, did you feel, because it was your first one, did you over prepare? Was it much different than how you prepared during the regular season?
I look back on it and I think we prepared the same way. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I think we just felt like we were supposed to be there too. We were playing a team that we were getting a lot of the hype because we did so much offensively that year, broke a lot of records. But, I mean, the 49ers were an incredible football team that year. They had the best defense in the league. And so I think that we didn't necessarily over-prepare, but we took it, about business. I'd say we're going out there, we're going to win a Super Bowl. And I think if you do go too crazy and make it too big in your mind, then it puts too much pressure on you. But at the same time, you got to realize this is your one chance.
Yeah. So people talk about how different this game is, and we had John Fox on with us earlier this week as he works for us now, when he's talking about how weird the game itself is compared to every game you play. Right. Halftime is ridiculously longer, but like you go on the field for your warm-ups, and then you go back to the locker room, and in a normal game, 10 minutes, 15 minutes max.
Less than that.
And now you're looking at like 40 minutes. And when you're sitting in there thinking, I'm about to play in the biggest game of my life, and you're like, what do I do? I mean, how do you keep yourself there?
That's why the crazy thing is New England is, they've been doing this now so many times, and so many of their guys are so experienced, so they understand. So, and that in itself is an advantage. Because they understand what it takes and, how you handle yourself, how you handle the week, the game situation, everything that's going on. So that is a huge advantage for them.
And they certainly have that as a team. But for Tom Brady as a quarterback, he's 41, talking about he wants to play till he's 45. And you see Drew Brees and a number of these other guys talking about playing well into their 40s. You had a long career in your own right as well. But what's the mentality like when you start to get later in your career? And for so many of these guys, the fire's still burning at that level.
And that's what it is, because once you're done, you're done. There's no senior league for football players. But it's so at the same time, it's like that competitive, just that burning desire to want to play and just have that action of, what it takes to get to a Super Bowl, what it takes to win games, the preparation, during the week, all the things that you do for that one moment in a game that might, cause you to win that game. That's what the action of it. That's what they love.
As Marshawn Lynch once said, I'm all about that action, boss.
About that action.
And Tom Brady is still all about that action. Dan Marino is here with us. It's funny. As we were having this discussion, if you're watching us on ESPN News, they were rolling clips of some of Tom Brady's throws. And it really is remarkable, Dan. I mean, look, people can say whatever he want. In that AFC Championship game, whenever he needed to, that ball was still in there perfectly. I mean, they converted so many third downs, the touchdown to Philip Dorsett. I mean, the ball, they were covered. Those guys were covered, and he's still finding a way to find that ball into the exact right place.
And I always said you can't cover a perfect pass.
Right.
It doesn't matter how close,
It's
the
true.
defensive back might be. If you put it in the right location, with the accuracy, you just can't cover it. And Tom has always been able to do that in critical situations and come up with plays that he, has to make and throws he has to make. And that's what makes him, Tom Brady. And what he's been doing is incredible.
We're talking Dan Marino, Hall of Famer, highlight of his career, '93, and we were teammates together in Miami.
Very true.
When our
Very
season,
true.
When our season ended,
Do
with
not lie to him.
with our season
Do not
ending,
lie to him.
with our season ending in the pocket in Cleveland when you tore your Achilles, and
We had a really good team. That year,
I
too,
know
man.
we were
Oh,
9-2,
man.
best record in the league, and ended up not making the playoffs. But let's not pour salt in the wound there.
No.
We
Never
see,
recovered.
We
Yeah,
see,
Achilles.
no. we see two basically pocket passers in this game. Goffs can move a little bit, but we know Tom is a pocket guy.
Sure.
But what is your thought overall? We're seeing a new type of quarterback. We're really seeing the college game being involved more in the pro game now.
There's no doubt. You're absolutely right. When you think about, how the guys, all the throws at the line of scrimmage too. I mean, we never,
Right.
did any of that stuff, bubble screens
Yep.
or any of that stuff. So that's all part of it, and that's coming from college. And guys that can make plays outside the pocket, you're seeing a lot more of that. And with the pass run options, that's a big deal now in our league. So you got to have a guy, I think, that's going to be mobile and be able to run around. But at the same time, you got to have them make throws from the pocket because those defenses find ways to keep guys in the pocket.